Welcome to Heaven's Kitchen. I am Janelle, and I am blessed to have a new crew member on the BCAM crew right here in my home studio. Today we're going to do one of my very favorite party menus. I'm Italian. I absolutely love to throw cocktail parties. But rather than a big meal, I like to do antipasti. And antipasti in Italian literally means before the meal. So I went through all my recipes, and in fact I got a little consultation from a new friend of mine, a gal named Francesca Montillo. She actually teaches culinary arts in Cambridge. She also has her own website called The Lazy Italian. So she was sweet enough to share this recipe with me, kind of on the idea of a hummus, but it's an Italian white bean. So it's going to be a herbed white bean crostini. So we're going to start with that, and let's get right to it. We're going to start with a beautiful baguette, French baguette, and the way I cut it, I just like to make my pieces a little bigger, so I usually cut it on the bias. So instead of cutting it straight this way, I'm going to do this. And it just makes the pieces really pretty, and it makes for a bigger serving for everyone, which I really like. And so we'll just start with enough. Because another thing that I love about this kind of a recipe is you can just get them all pre-made and then pop them in the oven when you're ready to roll. So I'm going to take my sheet pan here and I'm going to start laying these out. And I won't do the whole loaf because I want to make another batch of hot ones later. So I'm only going to do enough just to show you how it works, okay? Okay, lovely. One more, just to keep it balanced. Okay, I am going to take my olive oil, and now there's two different ways to make these. If you don't have a really great herby dip, which in this case we do, you would take a garlic clove and actually rub onto your toasts after they're toasted. But because there's going to be so much garlic in this dip, I'm going to skip that step for today. So I'm going to put my olive oil right in my handy dandy little ramekin here. And I'm just going to brush these so that they're going to toast beautifully. And I've already got Martha preheating, 400 degrees. If you want to be faster, you broil. But if I broil right now, and we're in the middle of being in the studio and I'm chatting with you, I'm afraid I'm going to burn them. So I'm going to just bake them. So quick and simple, just like this. You can also just drizzle with your olive oil container, but I just think this is a more precise way to do it. So very simple, Simon. We're going to come on over to Martha, preheated, 400 degrees, and you know, if you're seeing it at 375, it's because I'm on convection, as I always am. So I am going to just hit my timer for 4 minutes, and we're going to give it a roll. Okay, now for the herbed, lovely white bean dip, we're going to use Italian kidney beans. They're called cannelli beans. So we're going to use 2 cans of cannelli beans, and what we need to do with those is get them rinsed and drained, which is a very simple thing to do. So let's take them over to the sink with my little colander, and we're going to get those ready to roll. So we're just very simply get them out of these come obviously packed in liquid so they don't dry out. And it's a very starchy liquid. Sometimes if I make a chili, I keep it in there. But in this case, we're not going to do that. We're just going to get them cleaned up and rinsed. And because I'm using my adorable little colander, I'm going to have to do it twice. So let me take my towel. And now we're coming over to my food processor. And we're just going to dump these babies right in. Let's go get the other can really quickly. And get them rinsed. And drained. Okay, pop them right in. And you'll see, this just could not be simpler. All we're doing is throwing everything in. The food processor does all the work for me. Okay, 1 clove of garlic. If you're a super garlic fan, and I am a super garlic fan, you might want to do 2, but I think 1 is going to be enough. So let me, oh, this is nice, fresh garlic. I'm going to take this big boy. I like the looks of him. Okay, so I think I showed you when we made marinara sauce. Just going to pop your garlic. And because we're using a food processor, it's going to do all the work for me, but so as to make it easier for the food processor, I think I'll just cut it in half. Boy, this is so fresh, it doesn't really want to peel for me. Hold on 1 second here. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of just chop it in half. Drop it right in. Okay, let me grab my towel. Okay, a little salt and pepper, it's a taste. And then of course, like we do with everything, we're gonna taste it again and see if we need more. Some fresh ground pepper. All right, this shouldn't be too loud. We're just gonna pulse it and you'll be able to see, because I've got Jerry on the camera and he's awesome at catching all this stuff. So we're gonna pulse it and just watch how it turns into this beautiful, if it just stays locked, this beautiful creamy dip. We're gonna let it go for a minute. I'm gonna grab a spatula because I wanna be able to push down the sides. See, it's coming together so beautifully. Now, we're just gonna stream in some olive oil. Okay. And it's gonna come together in this gorgeous, smooth, delicious dip. Let's let that work for a minute. Oh yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Let me just give it a quick stir and a wipe down. Make sure that my garlic got incorporated. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, good thing I timed the toast. See, I already would have burnt them. Let's go back and check the toast really quick. Ah, not yet. We're gonna give them 2 more minutes. Okay, 2 more minutes. That's what I tell you. I always, if I am busy talking and my friends are here, we're drinking wine, the toast all of a sudden starts to smell burnt instead of toasted. All right, this looks amazing. I'm gonna taste it now before I finish it up and just see what we think about. Oh, it's yummy, but it definitely needs more salt in my opinion. And actually, I think my crew are garlic lovers too. I'm going for more garlic. Because you wanna taste that. You wanna taste that it's an Italian bean dip and not a basic hummus. So I'm gonna do that. Teeny bit more salt, teeny bit more pepper. All right, let's let it roll one more time, and I think it's gonna be gorgeous. Let me just flap a little on Jerry's shoe. Sorry about that, Jerry. See, anything goes in Heaven's Kitchen. We have fun in here. It's not perfect. Here we go. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna let you watch that develop, and I'm gonna put one more eyeball on this toast. All right, see what I'm saying? This is gorgeous. Absolutely, positively what I'm talking about. See how creamy it is and how beautiful? So what I'm gonna do is come back over to my board. I do have some gluten-sensitive friends, and gluten-sensitive, even my daughter has been staying away from it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plate some of this for my gluten-free people, and I'm gonna put a crudité. Crudité just basically means vegetables. So crudité would be small carrots, some cucumber, fennel if you like fennel. And to make it look beautiful, what I do is this, and I can use this because I'm not gonna need it again. I'm just gonna put my olive oil around the border. Okay, I'm going to put some more fresh ground pepper, and come on over to the sink with me. I'm gonna snap off a little of my fresh parsley here and thanks to my son. He is such a sweetheart. I get toys for my birthday all the time. And I thought I had every toy known to humankind. But evidently I didn't, because I never got herb scissors until my son Tom and his girlfriend Mary Kate found them for me. So these are fantastic. Instead of chopping, because some herbs, especially basil, if you chop it, it will bruise. So I'm just using these, and look at how pretty that is. It makes just the perfect little, the kind of a cut is called a chiffonade. And to create a chiffonade, you usually have to roll up your herbs and just slice them finely, but I think that looks gorgeous. So that's gonna be for my gluten-free folk who might want some carrots or vegetables around the side. But let's finish up our toasts, because they've gotta be done by now. My pretty little pot holder that I love. All about the lemons. Oh, these are nice. I don't like my toast burnt or overdone. I like very lightly toasted, but if you like it more crunchy, fine. I think this is fabulous, just the way it is. So what we are doing is just the same exact thing, only we're gonna present these ones on a beautiful platter that I'd like to thank the Alves family for. This was a birthday gift. So I am going to spread some of this beautiful, beautiful dip onto these toasts. And this makes such an awesome appetizer. I have a girlfriend, Crostini, who has a big job at Newton Wellesley, and she is on 128 half of her life. So she'll sometimes text me and say, hey, is there anything going on in Heaven's Kitchen? And I say, as a matter of fact, I'm making crostini. And she says, pray that 128 will be good to me. I'm on my way. So this is just a nice, simple thing that I can lay out when my girlfriends want to drop in after work, or when I'm waiting for Tommy to come home from school. And I think that looks gorgeous. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do my nice little herb garnish and my pretty little, herb garnish, because I think it looks fabulous. And there you have it, folks. I mean, I don't think that was even 5 minutes, inclusive of toasting the bread. So this is Antipasti 101, our first offering, herb-dipped crostini. And one thing I want you to know is whatever herbs you like, put it in there. I'm a rosemary fan. You can add rosemary. I just didn't add the herbs because I would rather use them as a garnish, but you can do any way you want. You can even do olives. You can do sun-dried tomatoes, whatever. So here's your first impressive Italian appetizer. So treat your friends, and we're gonna take a quick break, and I'm gonna come back and show you another great recipe of mine. Thanks, I'll be right back. Welcome back. We've got one great appetizer under our belt already. This is the second one. This one by far, I would say, is one of the most popular. When I make them, I have to make 3 times more than what I'm going to show you today. They used to be, God rest his soul, my dad's favorite. It's stuffed mushrooms. The thing about stuffed mushrooms is you can make them however you want to make them. Some people like them spicy. Some people like them with meat in them. Some people like them with sun-dried tomato. This is your basic, perfect appetizer. You can build on it. You can make it your own. This is just the basic recipe that I want to share with you. So first and foremost, what I need to show you is how to prepare your mushrooms. Now I happen to find these beauties. These are just white button mushrooms. I've also done this before with creminis, which are baby portobello. They're fantastic. So if you happen to have a little dirt, you'll see that's a little bit of dirt. That's a nice clean one. All you do, you don't rinse them, you don't waterlog them, you just wipe them with a wet paper towel, and they're gorgeous. So sometimes you need a knife. 90% of the time I don't even bother. I just snap out the stem, just like so, and it's perfect. You might have a stubborn one, and if you do, just have a little knife handy, but you just pop out your stem, and then you're gonna hollow out your mushroom. And you'll see, obviously, if you want to fill more stuffing, you're gonna wanna have a little bit more space. So in that case, you just use your knife and just take out any other little parts, just to make more space to fit your stuffing. But these ones are so nice and fresh, I think I can literally just pop them. Oh, and as I'm preparing, I'm gonna be ready to stuff them right on this tray. What I forgot to mention, which is very important, is we wanna put some oil on this tray. So we don't want them to stick, obviously. And if you just put a little and you just rub your mushrooms around it, we'll be fine. Okay? So for now, I'm just going to keep them here. Once we stuff them, I will distribute them all around the tray. Okay? I'll do this speedy quickly as I can. And this one, see, is a shorter stem. A shorter stem is going to need a little more help from me. And it certainly doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be loaded with beautiful stuffing and you're never going to see what the cut looks like. I'm just going to make a first tray. So I'm going to pick the biggest mushrooms I have out of my selection here to show you. There we go. And again, I cracked that one a little bit, big deal. No one's ever going to see it. It's going to be loaded with a beautiful, crunchy, delicious stuffing. This one again, a little bit too much in there. I'm not going to have any place to put my stuffing, so I'm just going to give that one a little bit of a carve. Okay. Pull that right out of there. Okay. Just a few more, and I think we've got the idea, right? All right. Okay. Now, this is going to be a good start, and I want to give them room. Realize mushrooms have a lot of water in them, so you don't want to put them right on top of one another because then they're going to steam. So you want to give them plenty of space. So we're going to get some dirt off of that one right there. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to roll these babies just around in the oil so that once they're stuffed, they're not going to stick. Okay? You don't need a ton, just enough to be able to lift it off without it sticking. And I like symmetry, so I need one more. Okay. I think this is a nice one here. Give it a little swipe, swipe, swipe. Okay. And pop my stem. All right, perfect. Okay, so we are set up, ready to roll. What I'm going to do is slide these things out of my way, and I am going to work on my stuffing. And again, use your creativity. If your family likes sausage, by all means, use sausage. If your family likes chorizo, you just have to make it really small. Chorizo, you can do anything you want. You can even add, as I say, sun-dried tomatoes. You can do anything. So I'm going to start my stuffing. One thing I do want to share with you, you can use any kind of breadcrumb you like. I make my own.